What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another daily Manchester City transfer update. Might be my 30th birthday today, but it doesn't stop the train, it doesn't stop the grind. Daily Manchester City transfer update. So before I do crack on with today's update, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. It's free to subscribe. Social media links are in the description. If you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok, email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on today's video. We're aiming for 400 likes, and also don't forget as well to get your thoughts in the comments below. So we've got no contract news to speak about today. We do have the very latest though with the outs, and we've got the latest on Nico O'Reilly. Now, Simon Phillips has said that Chelsea have sent an inquiry this week to Manchester City once more for Nico O'Reilly. He's got 3 years left on his Manchester City contract. Manchester City have been working to try and get Nico O'Reilly onto a new long-term deal to reflect his importance to the first team. Chelsea did make a bid in the January transfer window to try and bring in Nico O'Reilly from Manchester City. City had told Chelsea that they were looking for £20 to £25 million, plus they wanted a sell-on fee to be included and a buyback clause. Chelsea weren't too fussed about the fee. They were more bothered though about the sell-on fee and buyback clause, and they ultimately ended up not pursuing that transfer in the January transfer window, and they wanted to pursue a similar deal that saw them take Cole Palmer from Manchester City, which was £40+ million with no sell-on fee and no buyback clause. Manchester City's stance: they're not interested in selling Nico O'Reilly this summer. They would need the player to force the move from Manchester City like Cole Palmer did, where he said that he was interested in leaving Manchester City and wanted to leave Manchester City. So what we're waiting for here is Nico O'Reilly to make his decision about what he wants to do next. We want him onto a new contract. Clubs are interested in signing him. He's got 3 years left on his City contract. City not interested in selling him. So it's all about, does Nico O'Reilly want to stay? And if so, sign the new contract, get a nice pay rise, get a new long-term contract, or he decides that he wants to pursue first-team football elsewhere, and he decides that he wants to leave Manchester City, where City should be able to get a good amount for Nico O'Reilly this summer, with him having 3 years left on his Manchester City contract. So what we want to do here, and this is what I think will happen, is Nico O'Reilly is going to be put onto a new contract ASAP, and they're going to end speculation about his future. So it's over to Hugo Boss now to make sure that he manages to keep Nico O'Reilly at the club, and also that Nico O'Reilly ends up signing a new contract. Anyway, moving on, we've got the latest on Kalvin Phillips, and Pete O'Rourke has said that Kalvin Phillips isn't being linked with the exit door right now at Manchester City due to him focusing on his recovery from his injury. So he's going to be out until August with an Achilles injury. In August, Manchester City are going to tell Kalvin Phillips that they want him to find a new club. I'm near certain that no club is going to try and sign Kalvin Phillips permanently due to his wages. He's on £150,000 a week. He's also very injury prone, and he is struggling. He also has 3 years left on his Manchester City contract, and he's only halfway through his 6-year deal at Manchester City. It's been a huge flop, basically. This transfer cost more than £40 million to bring him in from Leeds, and Leeds being, I reckon, maybe the only club that's interested in signing Kalvin Phillips this summer. They're not going to do that on a permanent basis. They're not going to want to pay a big transfer fee and pay a big wage to Kalvin Phillips when he's just not been all that reliable over the last couple of seasons. What I can see Leeds United doing is taking the more sensible route, which would be the loan route instead, and him having a homecoming at Leeds United, and we'll see where we go from there. What I can see happening with Kalvin Phillips, though, is it's just going to be a loan year on year on year until eventually we end up in 2028, and then he'll be out of contract and he'll leave for free, and then he'll naturally have to come down on his wage demand. So, bit of a sorry situation when it comes to Kalvin Phillips. Anyway, moving on, we've got the latest on Ederson, and Sports Witness have confirmed that Galatasaray's interest in Ederson is legit for this summer. It's very interesting that Ederson was linked with a move to Saudi Arabia last summer. He wanted that move, but Manchester City had priced him out of that move by asking for too big of a fee. Ederson then stayed, but Sports Witness have confirmed what I have suspected may happen, that an unnamed Saudi Arabian team have made it known to Ederson's camp that they're interested in signing him this summer and interested in offering him a mouth-watering contract, which a big amount of money is going to be, for a lot of it, tax-free, which is appealing to Ederson. It appeals to a lot of people. If I remember rightly from last summer, Ederson was being offered double, triple, maybe even more on his current wage at Manchester City. Apparently he's on £100,000 a week at City, which I find bemusing that Kalvin Phillips is on £150,000 a week and Ederson's on just £100,000 a week. Maybe it makes more sense as to why Ederson wants to leave, because he wants to earn a bigger wage or a bigger contract. Ederson's now into his 30s. He's going to want to start thinking about making a big money move as he reaches towards the end game of his career. More than likely he's still got a good 5 to 10 years left in his career, because it's not uncommon for goalkeepers to be playing into their late 30s, even into their early 40s. But football players' careers are short, and it makes a lot of sense for you to sort yourself out for life with just a few years worth of work. So what we'll see now is something potentially materialising. If it's not going to be Galatasaray in Turkey, it could well be a move to Saudi Arabia instead. It does mean that if Ederson does leave, Manchester City will need a new number one goalkeeper, and Manchester City have been getting heavily linked with a few goalkeepers, which I'll speak about later in this video. It's well within Man City's best interest, though, to get some clarity on this goalkeeping situation, because our number one Ederson and our number two Stefan Ortega Moreno are both out of contract next summer. Neither of these players right now are in talks to renew their contract either. So if we can get some clarity and something sorted this summer, then why wait? Anyway, moving on to the ins. City have been getting linked with making a move for young striker Will Wright from Salford City in the English Football League. However, according to Talksport, Liverpool have stolen a march on everybody. That includes Manchester City, Arsenal, Brentford and Aston Villa, who have all been getting linked with a move. And Liverpool are apparently set to add Will Wright to their academy for a fee worth around £200,000 a week. It's believed that he's picked Liverpool because he dreams of playing at Anfield. So you win some and you lose some when it comes to academy players. So there's been a lot of academy movements in the Premier League this summer. City aren't the only team that's focusing on improving their academy, and as I said, sometimes you end up bringing in some of the biggest high quality young players out there. Sometimes you end up missing out to other teams' academies. It is what it is. So Will Wright not looking like he'll be signing for Manchester City, and looking like he's on his way to Liverpool for £200,000. So anyway, moving on to the final transfer, we've got an update on the goalkeeping situation at Manchester City and potentially bringing some goalkeepers in. So we've had an interesting line brought in from Tuttosport over in Italy. They've said that Juventus goalkeeper Michele Di Gregorio, who City have been linked with a couple of months back, apparently he isn't keen on a move to the Premier League. He isn't keen on a move to Manchester City. He's only keen on staying in Italy and staying at Juventus, and all he wants to do is sign a new contract there. Di Gregorio is a 27-year-old Italian goalkeeper who was linked to replace Ederson, whose future, of course, still pretty uncertain, with 11 months left on his Manchester City contract. Ederson did say he wanted to stay at Manchester City, but the rumours and speculation have just simply not gone away, and I think with more online attacks towards Ederson and his wife and his family maybe have unsettled the player. I certainly would understand if it has unsettled the player, and I'm sure that other goalkeepers will be looking at the Ederson situation and saying, I don't want to go to Manchester City, I don't want to touch that with a barge pole. No thank you, I don't want to get a barrage of abuse every time I make a mistake, and quite frankly, it's disgusting. It needs to stop from these so-called Manchester City fans. Anyway, Manchester City have also been getting linked with Barcelona goalkeeper Marc Andre Ter Stegen. Rumours haven't gone away. I can't see Manchester City making a move for Ter Stegen, if I'm being completely honest with you, but I found it really interesting with the line coming from Tuttosport that Manchester City are continuing to be heavily linked with their preferred goalkeeper, which is Diogo Costa from FC Porto. He's the preferred goalkeeper. He's the goalkeeper Manchester City want. He's the goalkeeper that's prepared to wait for Manchester City, whether that be later this summer or even next summer. He wants to be Manchester City's new number one goalkeeper. Manchester City want to bring Diogo Costa in. It's a deal that's very easy and simple to get sorted. Relations between the clubs are good. The relationship between the Manchester City Chiefs and Diogo Costa's agent, which I think is George Mendes, also very good as well. So it is looking like if Ederson does end up leaving, if it's to Galatasaray, Saudi Arabia or any other team, if that does happen this summer, summer, it's looking like it is going to be Diogo Costa that Manchester City would like to bring in. He's the preferred goalkeeper according to Tuttosport, not Di Gregorio, not Marc Andre Ter Stegen. It is very much looking like Diogo Costa, the goalkeeper that Manchester City want to bring in. He's a 25-year-old Portuguese goalkeeper who is Portugal's #1 as well. So that has been today's transfer update, guys. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a thumbs up. 400 likes is the aim. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on to be notified immediately for when I do upload. You don't want to miss a thing. I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day here on YouTube with all the latest City transfer news, so do subscribe. Social media links are in the description too if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries, and I'll see you all again religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Into the 30s club for me. Peace. Ciao for now.